One of the biggest reasons for low libido in women, I believe, is a chronic lack of self-stimulation and self-pleasure. That's right, I don't think that women are masturbating enough. And there are so many good reasons for this. Women, number one, are not incentivized to masturbate. Female masturbation is not normalized in the way that male masturbation is. When we talk about female masturbation, like in public or in small groups or in TV or in the media, it's often kind of referred to as like a little joke, right? Whereas male masturbation is just more quote unquote normal. But the truth is that I think if women were masturbating more often, they would want sex more, they would be having better sex, they would be having better orgasms. And I know already you're thinking about writing in the comments, Caitlin, my wife doesn't masturbate and I would really like for her to masturbate, but like, how do I get her to masturbate? Well, maybe show her this video, because masturbation is not just for sex with other people. Having sex with ourselves is a phenomenal way to take the edge off of what it means to be a human just experiencing life in the world. It is good for our sleep. It is good for our immune system. It is good for our stress levels. It is a really fabulous way to remind ourselves that we are inherently built for pleasure and for satisfaction, and the nerve endings in our body can create a really fantastic, totally free, and fairly, once you know how, easy to access abundance of pleasure that is good for our body, our spirit, our mind. So how often should women masturbate in order to unlock all of the goodness that having orgasms on a regular basis has to offer? In short, as often as they want. In fact, in Tantra, I've seen it said that men should masturbate less and women should often have as many orgasms as humanly possible. But since we all can't be just twiddling while we're at work, I think that aiming for 3 times per week is ideal for the average woman. Here are my top 3 tips for women who are looking to masturbate. Number 1, change up your routine. Use fingers, use different toys. The idea here is to not use the same kind of stimulation every single time, and that way your body won't get conditioned to that same kind of stimulation. So in other words, if you're always using a bullet vibrator, try using a sucking vibrator for a little bit, or a vibrator that goes around the clitoris. Try using your fingers. There's a gajillion different ways to stimulate the clitoris. There's all kinds of stuff out there. So go check it out, get a couple, give some variety. Number 2, take your time. Honestly, just the same way that I advise men that women's bodies take 20 to 40 minutes to warm up for penetration, that is true when you are touching yourself just as much as when someone else is touching you. I know we don't always have like an hour to give to masturbation, but honestly, making this a priority, maybe you have to skip like 1 yoga class a week, but it gives you a whole hour to build yourself up sensually. Go on a walk, take a bath, maybe put on lingerie. It can be for you as much as for anyone else. Tease your entire body, throw on some music and some candles. And then when you do begin touching yourself, do so in a way that starts slow and gentle and builds up to more and more pressure. Too many of us are like going directly for the outcome, going directly for the goal. We're masturbating in the same way that men have sex. In particular, we're masturbating in the same way that we typically think sex is supposed to go. Take the scenic route. Your body will thank you. And number 3, go for multiple orgasms. Just the same way that I advise for men to practice how they want to play, aka masturbate for 20 minutes if you don't want to orgasm in less than 20 minutes, the same goes for women. Every time that you masturbate, I recommend doing so in such a way that allows you to have multiple orgasms. Now, multiple orgasms are not always possible for all bodies, so certainly don't put any pressure on yourself. But if you want to be multi-orgasmic with a partner and you want to be able to keep going after that initial release, then masturbating in such a way that you get to practice that is going to make sex feel more fun when you get to partnered sex. Now, one more note on partnered sex here. Masturbate for yourself. Too many women can associate their sex and their sexuality with other people. Your sexuality is not defined by whether or not you have a partner, whether he finds you sexual, whether he wants to have sex with you, or you want to have sex with him. And let me throw in one more bonus tip for you. I invite you to savor the moment afterward. Don't just get up after that last orgasm, flick on the lights, go wash your toys or whatever. Take some deep breaths. Enjoy that sort of like cosmic puddle, that like afterglow. You've earned that, and that part is just as important as anything else. And if you want one more reason to masturbate or to put this in your routine, consider throwing in a little intention, aka a little sex magic, to make it extra meaningful. You can always be dedicating those orgasms to something or even someone that you love, calling in or creating something that you really want in your life. Remember that your sexuality, especially as a woman, is very powerful. It's very potent. It is part of what creates your vibration, your transmission, who you are in the world. And so when you are doing these things that are feeding your body with pleasure and joy and satisfaction and orgasms, that can also be used in the larger context of your life to create whatever it is that you want to create in the world. Just Google sex magic. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing here because this is enough. All right, I'm Caitlin B. Thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing this video with a woman who you love and who you want to see sexually satisfied in all of the ways. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and I will see you here next week.